found a way at the end.
Well, I was just proud that Marshall got the walk-off in victory. He deserves that. I'm appreciative of the crowd. You know, for a team that's fallen on some hard times, it's a beautiful afternoon. Spring is in the air, and I'm really appreciative of the fans who came out, and that's a direct correlation to their appreciation for Marshall and what he's done for us, and it was appropriate for him on senior day. It was a tough game, you know. I thought from jump, Vanderbilt's been struggling. That's been well documented. They had a close loss in their last outing against LSU. Rod Odom is an all-league player, and I'm sure he'll be acknowledged as such next week when that comes out, but he's really been struggling with his shooting, and we let him get going early, and then we got spread out. It seems like they were quicker to loose balls. Again, we struggled on the glass, but we stayed around. We had a little spurt where we were able to get the lead, put some game pressure on them. Now, I thought defensively down the stretch we were outstanding. Just awareness of knowing who we can't allow to shoot it at the end. They end up having a walk-on, taking a tough shot. So I was proud of our grit down the stretch, our ability to make free throws. My boss told me, despite us shooting 61%, we made our last 6 at the foul line, which was huge, and obviously it was a much-needed win to push us to 9-9 and kind of see where we fall now going into Atlanta.
It's going to be all about Marshall, of course, but Martavis gets the big offensive rebound, hits 2 free throws, and 59% shooter. I mean, Martavis doing Martavis things.
That's right. You know, and those are things that we saw some early, and then we lose him for 3 weeks, and he's really been helpful to us down the stretch because of his energy, because of his ability to come up with those loose balls.
How much would you emphasize in getting the basket and drawing fouls?
Well, I just knew that, you know, they've got 3 guys in Fuller, and then Parker and then Odom, who are 3 of the top 5 guys in minutes in the league. Why? Because they obviously have depth issues. So we knew they were going to be a little tentative, which allows us to drive the ball. So we were really just trying to drive it in there. I think we were in the double bonus pretty early in the second half. You know, it's uncharacteristic. We struggled from the foul line in non-league play, and once we got into SEC play, we're in the low 70s, a respectable number. We've really struggled the last couple of games. And, you know, sometimes as a coach, you know, you guys, me, we put, hey, this is a big win, it's a big game, and, you know, we forget that we've got inexperienced players at a number of positions, and it puts a little pressure on them. And so I was just proud that we found a way to gut it out.
How difficult was it getting any offense going when Jarvis was on the bench with foul trouble?
Well, you know, he's our engine, and when he picks up his third, I don't want to take him out, but I have to take him out a little bit. You know, he picked up the 2, and we're just trying to get through the half. We'd gotten it back about even, so I thought we could buy a little time. It's hard because he initiates so much, and his decision-making is unlike anybody else's on our team. Marshall was struggling with his shooting. We continue to have incredible misses close to the basket, agonizing, deflating, but we continue to grind. And again, second chance points, us having 13 big offensive rebounds and being able to take advantage of our depth by driving the ball was the key. And the fact we turned them over 17 times. To me, you know, we play a possessions game. We got 13 offensive rebounds, and we win the turnover margin by 12. That's the difference in the game.
Marshall changed his game. You talk about driving the ball. He did that a lot better. What do you think of his ability to get to the rim and still make important plays that way?
Well, Vanderbilt's MO is to run guys off the three-point line. If you look at them historically, Dejon Parker was doing a very good job of not getting screened and forcing Marshall into the action. So I just try to encourage him to take what the defense gives you. He had a couple of shots there at the end, which were Marshall-like, you know, tough leaners, lean back. Just didn't go for him tonight, but I'm thankful that we were still able to win.
You got the SEC tournament coming up next week. What do you got to do in order to win it again next week?
We got to win 4 games in 4 days. It's going to be a huge chore. But now, you know, we could finish, I guess, anywhere from 6 to 8. I think that's my understanding. So we'll see who we play on Thursday night and just take it one day at a time. My hope is that, again, the sense of urgency will be there. You know, nothing is guaranteed. The next game could be our last, and we need to play with that sense of urgency.
Is there anything to having a carryover from the last game being a win?
I would hope so. It makes you feel a little better about yourself. I know that, you know, when we come in here, you know, going 9-9 in SEC play certainly is a lot better than 8-10, even though it's a one-game swing. You go 500 in the league. Again, you've got an opportunity based on some tiebreakers to finish in a situation where maybe you can put yourself in position to do something magical like we did last year.
How did having Derek back help you?
You know what? He came back. I hate being so aloof yesterday, but there were still a couple things I needed to work out prior to me putting him back in. And he sat out 3 games. It was tough on him. We need him. We need him to spell Jarvis. I thought he was a little rusty. He was trying to go really, really fast. Made a couple of good plays, a couple of poor plays, but hopefully he'll help us moving forward.
Andy, what about Snoop? He came in and when you needed a backup point guard with Jarvis,
Right.
how did he do?
We've been doing that now for about 3 or 4 games. I thought Snoop hit the biggest shot of the game. You know, we were coming out of a timeout, and you know, he hadn't shot the ball particularly well. We haven't as a team, and Snoop's had a tough year from 3, and I could tell he was very, very hesitant. He shot faking as a habit as opposed to it being an effective tool. So I said, listen, if you have an opportunity to step into a shot, step into it and knock it down. He made a huge one right in front of our bench, which I thought gave us real energy.
What's the biggest challenge, you know, even during the regular season, you get in a routine where you play every 2, 3, 4 days. Now, you know, if you want to make a run, you got to play, 4 straight days. I guess what's the biggest challenge that you're doing, trying to handle?
Well, it's one advantage that I'm playing a lot of guys. You know, again, that's by just trying to see who's helping on that one particular night. So we've got, 9 or 10 guys that I feel like we can put in the game, and hopefully that depth will pay off for us.
I know the Arkansas game defensively did not go well. This game, did you see the improvement just kind of bounce
Especially
back?
down the stretch. We hold them to 40%, but I thought we were really good down the stretch, just being aware. The Arkansas game was something I've really never experienced. I've been beaten badly before, but never with guys just making shot after shot after shot after shot. And that was something that got away from us pretty quickly tonight. We stayed around. We were really ineffective offensively, and that's untypical for us in this building, but we really struggled offensively. And once we found a little bit of rhythm and were able to string together some baskets, I thought the momentum shifted on our side.
Andy, what does Marshall Henderson mean to the Ole Miss basketball program? If you can capsulize this 2 years.
Well, I think I always say this, and I believe it's true. We're all caught up in the moment of this game right now, but in a week, 2 days, 3 days, we won't even remember what happened other than the numbers. The numbers say 65-62, win for the Rebels. You are ultimately what your numbers say you are. And Marshall's put up some staggering numbers that will be hard to touch as it relates to his ability to score in a prolific manner. He's also the MVP of the SEC tournament. I said this to the group yesterday that assuming that he stays on the straight and narrow one day, hopefully you guys are still covering him, you'll look more like him. Paris with no hair, look at a head full of hair. You'll look like that maybe. And one day they'll call him out there as an SEC legend. He's earned that by winning a championship and being the MVP. So he has had a tremendous impact on our program. That cannot be lost. He's been certainly entertaining. And again, I want to take this moment to thank the fans who came out and supported him today. Thank you.